Good, good. How about yourself?
I'm alright, man. Can you hear me
Yeah.
properly?
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
Cool. Not much, man. I just wanna. So there's obviously, sorry, man. There's obviously a balance, right? Because every man goes to the stage where initially nobody's really looking at them and so forth, and then they start like listening to your Red Bull talk, right? Which is extreme. There's heavily women should do this, blase blase, and then after that, it's the middle, right? But what does it look like?
What does what look like?
The middle, like, so the extreme is obviously Red Bull talk, which
Okay.
it works, but it's not necessarily, how do I put this, conducive. Like it doesn't last, you know.
Right, right,
Because I mean, I'm not like I'm human, you know, so I can keep it up to a certain degree, but eventually she sees the cracks, and then you become human again.
gotcha.
So
So, what
what
specifically
would the middle
about?
look like?
It depends on like what variable we're isolating, right? So, are you talking about how you behave when it comes to dealing with the opposite sex, or are you talking about how you perceive the opposite sex? Because when you say the red pill, like that's like a big umbrella.
Yeah. Okay, so just basically how you behave. So I obviously it comes a point where I don't know. It's just like a how do I put this? It's man, it's a weird need, dude. Because what happens is you do so much, and then at some point you're like, hey, what would happen if I didn't have this? Let's see if she would do as well. You know, is that fair on her?
So are you like, okay, you listen to you entertain some red pill talk and then you're modeling the behavior that they're telling you to model in order to get the outcomes, relational outcomes that you're looking for?
Slightly, yeah, and it works, fortunately. You
It
know,
does. It
but
does.
yeah.
So red pill essentially teaches men how to move in a more avoidant fashion,
Mm-hmm.
and it works primarily on anxious women. It's part of the reason why the philosophy is so sticky because it works. If it didn't work, people wouldn't be so gung ho about it. They're gung
Correct.
ho about it because it's effective. And for a man who is like still in the Disney World reality, right? Where he
Mm-hmm.
is pedestalizing women, thinking that they're angelic beings, thinking that they can do no wrong. He's being super
Yeah.
nice and has the boom box outside the window and is writing poems and professing his love, right? A guy
Hey,
like
I've been
that,
there.
right, right. We all have, right? Men start off very romantic. Like we start off very
Right.
romantic. Like we're in school, high school, stuff like very romantic. It gets beat out of
Bro.
us through reality. So
Yeah.
a guy like that discovering red pill, he'll feel like he discovered the holy grail
Yeah.
because he went from not getting any results to getting results.
Yeah.
So from
And
his
I think.
perspective, it's like this is true,
Mm-hmm.
but he doesn't know there's a higher paradigm. There's a higher paradigm to where you integrate some of the lessons that the red pill teaches you, but you see it within nuance. Because what the red pill does is it overly fixates on the shadow side of the feminine,
Okay.
right?
Can you elaborate on that?
So when we talk about things like hypergamy,
Okay.
right? It's like it tells you all women are hypergamous to an extreme degree in such a way that the moment a better man comes across her, she comes across a better man, she's going to leave you for him. Well, that's
Okay.
just not true, right? It is partially
It's not.
true. No,
Okay.
no,
I think it is. So. Can you hear me? I think my network's just a bit bad.
I hear you.
So basically, but what I always tell, and I don't know how toxic this is, but I always tell my woman that listen, if you don't think I'm your best possible option, leave. You know, I believe that I'm obviously still growing as a man and becoming the man I want to be, but if you're at the point where you think you can do better, leave because it's in your nature to eventually. And now, obviously, we talk about like, uh, what's this? Like, women hate this, but what is this? What's the word I'm looking for? When they can't give birth anymore, but biological timeline,
The
right?
biological
They
clock.
have that.
Yeah,
Biological clock, 100%. So women
right.
at some point cannot be the same woman that I would need her to be, right? And unfortunately, at that point, right, let's say it takes me 10 years to be successful. At that point, she can't bear me 10 kids anymore, but now I
Right,
made her wait.
right.
So I always tell women, like, listen, hear me out. If you don't think that you can wait, if you don't think it's worth the wait for you, then don't. And I think hypergamy it teaches men that the downside of it with a lot of them that can't discern. It
Right.
teaches them that women are objects. Like, okay, I have money now. You should be mine. And
Yeah, but
fortunately,
that's I hear what you're saying, and you are taking a more healthy perspective of it, but it's still based
yeah,
on a flawed premise.
100%, 100%.
Women generally speaking, some like they're all hypergamous to varying degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Some will leave the moment that they see a better option, right? But if you just look at reality, a lot of women often don't get with a better person.
But that's the problem. Then their disappointment or their then falls onto you, man. It's like, why aren't you that? But it's like, ma'am, you're not the kind of woman that would get with that. Do you hear me out?
I'm not understanding because like there are women who would date men who are flat out broke.
Yeah.
There are women who will go back to their ex, even though you on paper are way better than their ex.
Mm-hmm.
That all goes against the hypergamous definition.
Not necessarily, because remember, unfortunately, the society we live in, hypergamy is subjective. So if
But
she's from the
if it's subjective, then it is functionally useless of a term. If you can't define how a man is better, and we could just say, well, better is subjective, then now the idea of hypergamy doesn't hold any more weight. It's a
yeah, but then
useless
remember,
term.
yeah, sorry, but so in South Africa, right, we have I think it's similar to America where we have women from the hood and women that aren't necessarily in the hood.
Right.
I always stay away from women from the hood because they don't take people like us serious. So according to that, I'm not street smart. So hypergamy on her is that I'm not on the same hierarchy table as the man that she fell in love with, even though
Right.
on paper, generally, that's what I mean. So I think it's unfortunately
And
the
that's what I'm
society we
saying, but
live in.
that's not the definition of it though. The
So
definition
hypergamy is not
is
it's
better.
not
So
valuable.
there's an objective standard to hypergamy, which is like, oh, he has more money,
Uh,
oh, he's taller, or he's better looking. If we start saying like you're just describing a preference, so if she just has a
okay.
preference, then it's like, okay, well then she's human like everybody else is human because we all have preferences.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Cool.
So it's like
Yeah.
now it doesn't even make sense anymore. So it's like that's what I mean. It's the red pill has a kernel of truth to it. They make real observations, but they lack nuance and then they overweigh certain variables because the truth is the feminine is very like chaotic and complex.
Yeah.
There
Hundred
us
percent.
men want to think very logical. So we want to create like some equation for how women work. But the reality is no equation exists because the
Yeah.
feminine is so chaotic. You'll see women decide to be with a man who you're like, why would you pick him? Because according to your models in your head, it wouldn't make any sense for her to pick him.
Yeah.
But it works for her because the feminine is very like it's complicated. It's complicated.
100
So
percent.
so it's
Yeah. Sorry.
like so that's one of the major blind spots of the red pill. They also don't acknowledge that us men have our own version of it, right? So that would be like a Kevin Hart example. You're married to a woman and then you go up the status hierarchy, and then once you hit to a certain level, you may magically not want to deal with the woman who you've been with for the past 10 years, and now you want like a younger, more beautiful woman.
Yeah.
It's the same
Or the
thing.
latter would be, then now you're introducing her to a world that you also new to. So even though you're a millionaire, there's people that have more money than you. So she's more likely to. But dude, I think it's unfortunate that I don't. I also wanted to say
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think love actually ever existed. I think everything was very subjective, like grandparents and so forth. Uh, I mean, if I'll use an American name, if Marcus and Miriam, right? Marcus knew Miriam as the most beautiful girl in the village out of 40 women. Now I'm seeing more women in a day than any king ever.
Right.
I think, fortunately, that's also a very big cause for divorce because it's the illusion of options as well. It's gotten
Right.
us in a space where I don't have to deal with you, bro. Like I look good enough. I don't have to deal with you. Bye bye. So
Right.
I think we cooked the society, man. I can't lie.
Oh no, I agree with you there. I don't think I tend to have more of an optimistic bend, but I can also acknowledge like the reality. I disagree with the whole mentality around like you know, love doesn't exist. That goes against my faith. Obviously, being a Christian, like core tenet of it is love, right? So I definitely
Yeah.
believe love exists. But as far as romantic love in the current culture, it is a lot more difficult because we evolved as a species in smaller tribes, smaller communities.
Mm,
So there was a stopgap or a limitation as to how many people we had access to. It's easier to make a decision when you were in a village of 100 people.
yeah.
Now, you're global. You're competing
Yeah, and I
globally.
think
It's a global marketplace. So it's like that makes it a lot more difficult. And not only is it now a global marketplace, but we have a lot more romantic experiences than people from the past. So we have a lot more negative romantic experiences, which makes everyone a bit more guarded.
yeah,
So there's a multitude of um, downsides to dating in the current culture. I agree with that.
100%, man. I just think love is a marketing strategy, man. Because imagine how many books has love sold, you know, how many movies, t-shirts. We here right now on the panel talking about love. So I think they sell us an idea of it, but longevity isn't necessarily as realistic as they make it seem, you know. But neither here nor there.
I don't. I think we'll have to agree to disagree on that. I think that as far as romantic love, in terms of being married and being with a person, that's a relatively new invention. Historically, love was referred to was basically reserved for your mistress and
Okay.
whatever the woman version of a mistress is, right? So when you
Yeah.
read like love poems of the past, they typically were written for someone outside of the marriage. The marriage was for stability. It was for just a combining of resources. It was like a business decision. And then
Yeah.
the passionate love, was reserved for someone outside of that arrangement.
I think Jordan Peterson did a study of that as well. I think he said women's fantasy of love is infidelity. I think I was reading. I'm not remember what podcast it was, but 100% agree with you there. Yeah. So
Yeah.
hey man, appreciate the chat, man. I have to sleep now. It's like 3 a.m. This side.
Oh, I got you, brother. All right. Appreciate the questions, man. You take care.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
All
Okay.
right. Take care. All right. Who we got? Oh, we got a few people in the queue. Okay. Just gonna pick somebody at random. See if Tammy's here. Oh, Tammy, how you doing?
Okay. My question is, has the online dating kind of fizzled out? My experience with that is there's a lot of scammers out there, and I don't know if people are really looking to meet or not because you chat, but a lot of times you never really meet up. So, what's your opinion about that?
Um, when you say online, what's that noise in the background? Okay, you gotta go though. All right. So, what app are you using?
I've used a few of them. I've used Hinge, I've used Bumble, I've used Upward,
Okay.
and I'm just not sure if I'm not using the right ones, if I should choose a different one.
Why are you saying that some people up there are scammers?
They'll talk. A lot of times they'll post pictures, but then they don't want to FaceTime. And one of my rules is if I'm going to talk to you, and we're going to, text. You're texting back and forth. If I'm going to talk to you at some point, I want to see that you are what your pictures say you are.
Right.
And a lot of people, as soon as they start fraying away from even wanting to do a video chat, that makes me guarded.
Okay.
And then I've had it where, like, you'll see their post, and they have several pictures out there, and then they'll be asking you for pictures, and then if you ask them for a picture, they'll send you just one that's already out there. So if you're out doing something, I mean, everybody's got their phone with them these days, you know.
Right.
So, and then I just had one that, you know, they're working and they on an oil line, and the ship's out for so long, and then the next thing you know, they get you onto another app, and the next thing you know, they're asking for if you can send their kid a video card or an Apple card or something like that. That's definitely a scam.
So that's happened to you multiple times?
Yes, a few times, yeah.
Okay. You have to make sure the people you're talking to are verified. If you're using apps like Hinge and stuff like that, you should see at the top of the page they have a check mark. That means they're verified.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. Don't just start talking to someone you match with. Make sure they're verified. Just about every dating app has that ability to verify people, that people are real. So that's the first thing I would tell you.
Okay.
Second thing is, dating apps just aren't ideal. They just aren't. It's best to meet people in the wild. It's best to, what I always say, go to static environments. Treat your dating problems like they're social problems, right? So you go to environments where you have to see the same people over and over again, just like you did when you were in school and during work. And start to mix and mingle, spread positive energy, make platonic connections, make potential romantic connections, right? Every person that you meet could potentially be a person who introduces you to somebody that has some romantic interest in you. So that's just the best way to try to date. Dating apps are very competitive, highly competitive, and you have to deal with the type of problems that you are describing. So that doesn't mean that you have to ditch them per se. I just won't depend on them, right? That shouldn't be the meat and potatoes of your dating strategy. You should not look at dating as just being on dating apps. You're going to have a bad time if that's your approach.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
No problem, love. Best of luck to you, all right?
Yep, thanks.
All right. Shorty was watching Matlock, won't she? Rayan?
Hey, so first off, just want to say I appreciate your content. I've seen it a long time ago. You used to appear on my For You page.
Okay.
But it's been a long time since I've seen you on my page now, and good to be a part of your life. I would rather want to ask you about the situational based question based on the current situation I'm kind of going through.
Okay.
In terms of how can I navigate it and what should I do.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I've been interested in this girl, but we have met through our families because my mom is actually helping her family buy a house where we live. So then, that's like the first time we got to meet. It's more of a family setting. I've never met her beforehand, so we just met for the first time a week or so ago. We hit off pretty good in terms of families. Well, first my mom got to introduce all of us to each other, which was good. We all introduced ourselves to each other. Mm-hmm. Today was our third meeting. They actually invited us to where they were staying, so we got to meet them, I guess, at their space while they were discussing business and stuff. But I have interest in their oldest daughter, who's the same age as me. So I just want to know, how could I go and approach her? How should I move forward if we're constantly in a family setting and it's kind of hard for me to get on with her one-on-one?
Okay. So you're constantly in the family setting, so you're never in a situation to where, like, she can be isolated?
Yeah, that's right. It's always with her parents and with my mom, and I guess siblings were around or not around, or they're keeping each other busy. But yeah, it's generally a family setting.
Ooh.
It's not really ideal for one-on-one. And I'm really interested in getting to know her because, from what I've heard, like, I've spoken to her parents and, they seem to, like, hype her up a lot too. But I guess they're just being friendly. They're trying to, like, I don't know what their agenda is, but it's pretty friendly. It's pretty friendly interaction. I guess we have a lot of things in common. Find her socials. Yeah, no, I was actually looking to ask her socials, but I couldn't. That would be her in front of her parents.
That would be the play. That would be the play, because I appreciate your situation, because if she's just all... How old are you two? Do you know?
We're both 18.
18, okay. So yeah, if she's going to be always around the parents, I can understand how that would be kind of awkward to try to engage her with the parents just around, especially like her father. It's
Yeah.
probably, if it was a mom, that's doable. But
Exactly,
pops
and the
being
thing
there
is,
as
it's
well.
like I'm unsure. Sorry to interrupt. It's because
But
like her father is like super friendly. He seems to really take an interest in my life, and he's really been the kind of like good father figure in terms of me, in terms of advice. Because I grew up without a father, basically. So he really, I mean, in the times that we met, he's really like asked me a bunch of things and really helped me navigate to certain things. So I really feel like it's a good setting,
okay,
and I really appreciate his daughter as well.
okay. And the reason why y'all are meeting is because you said they're buying a house.
Yeah, they're actually, well, yeah, they're buying a house. They're still in process of, I guess, finalizing it, but they've really stayed in touch with my mom over, I guess, a shorter period of time, like let's say a few weeks, give it a few weeks.
Okay.
So they're in the process of just wrapping up the house deal. So they've actually been nice enough to invite us out. First, we met in an outside setting where we all ate. Because of the Ramadan festivities, we've been meeting outside. We met outside the second time as well. But then tonight we met them at their hotel. They invited us over and they treated us with lots of food, and it was just a very good setting
Nice.
for both of our families.
So when's the next time you think y'all are going to cross paths?
Um, well, I asked my mom. She said probably within the next few days because they'll be traveling soon back to their home, and then they'll be back here because it's currently spring break here, so they're currently traveling. So to answer your question, probably in the next few days.
Your mom can't play point for you. Is your mom like a real estate agent
I
or
know, I
something?
agree. Yeah, she's real estate. She specialized in.
So you can't get your mom involved. What I mean by that is you can have your mom be like, if she's showing the house, uh, you can let her know your intentions, and then you can have her show the daughter, like she can quarterback that for you. Like, Rand, how about you go show blah 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 that, and you two follow me blah 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 blah. That way you get to go ahead and ISO real quick, escalate a
Right.
little bit, get the IG, get whatever you need to get, and then come circle back.
Right.
That's how I would, depending on you and your mom's relationship. That's how I would play it. That's the easiest way.
Oh yeah, me and my mom have a very close relationship. Like since obviously we've
Okay.
like to think we've grown up together. We've stuck to each other through harder
Right.
times.
There
So
you
she
go.
knows
So
my
you're
intentions. I
basically
know
you're
her.
basically on a 2-man with your mom. As weird as
Yeah,
weird as that
basically. Yeah.
sounds. So tell your mom like, yo, I like Shorty. Don't let her do the mom thing and like try to tell like the parents.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
do
for
that.
sure. Definitely because I've really been looking forward to just going about it like myself approaching her to ask
Right.
her, but it just never seems like the right time because
Right.
it's always in the family setting.
Right.
So
To
that's
get
the
your
thing, we're
mom
just
on
kinda
board,
stuck.
bro. Get your mom on board. Tell your mom, listen, I just need to get one-on-one time with her so I can like kind of like ask her out. Can you just quarterback this? So you find an
Yeah, true.
opportunity for me to show the daughter something and you show the parents something, and just give me 5 minutes with Shorty, and then I can do my thing. I need this, mom. I need this. Right? Just have a little conversation with her. That'll work. That'll work for sure.
Right. I did mention sort of to her, I guess, on the way back from our whole meeting that like, oh, I think like I said it to her in a way that like, oh, I'm really starting to have feelings for her. I want to get to know her really well. I was gonna ask for her socials, but I didn't feel like it was right since we were with her parents. And my mom was like, okay, maybe in the next few meetings you could. So she doesn't mind, but like, I don't know how I should exactly go about it. I guess your idea was good, where it's like if my
Right.
mom is showing them the house, I could try and get some alone time. You can say, as you said.
Yeah. So to do that, if you are going out with them again, just get a seat beside her.
Yeah, see, beside her, actually, funny enough, because the first time we met, she kind of sat at the end of the table where she was like with her siblings. She has like 3 younger sisters. She was sitting with them.
Okay.
I was sitting on the other side with my mom and both her parents. So I actually got to like speak to her parents first in
Okay.
the first meeting, and we all seemed to hit it off pretty good. Then the second time, she sat with her parents in front of me. So I kind of got to speak to her a bit, but it wasn't like me initiating a conversation and she'd respond. It's more
Gotcha.
like I'm speaking to her dad, and then if we're talking about something that she's like a part of, he would then include her in the conversation, and then it would just go like that.
Right.
But
Right.
I would have liked obviously to have more one-on-one with her.
Mhm.
But just with her dad, I just felt like it was right. If her dad is talking to me and he decides to include her, it's only right then if we were to go about that. But I do want to eventually speak to her one-on-one, get to know her well, ask her socials first. So yeah, that was
Right. Yeah, that's the
fine.
play. The S tier strategy is going to be get your mom involved so she can help you ISO and get her by herself. The A tier strategy is going to be if y'all go out to eat or something like that, you just position yourself in a way where you can sit directly beside her, not across from her, but beside her, and that way,
Oh
y'all,
yeah, true. Yeah, next to her.
it's easier to facilitate like um a one-on-one conversation without other people kind of intruding. That'll
Yeah,
work.
exactly. But also, I mean, the way it is, since I'm already on good terms with the parents,
Uh
when I
huh.
sit next to her, like, I don't know, it's like, since it's a family setting, you can't really listen to her properly because there's always going to be people around you, or
Right.
if the parents are talking, they may decide to, like, include me somewhere. So, like, I ideally, obviously, with the family setting, it's hard, I'm aware, but I would obviously like the one on one setting.
Yeah.
But with the family setting, it's harder, right? That's the thing.
Right.
But yeah, I guess sitting next to her would be a step closer to that. So I guess I could look into that next time we meet, which I told you will be soon. So
Hmm.
yeah,
That's it. That's all you gotta do, brother. And last
yeah,
thing is um if you need to do a Hail Mary, just come up with some sort of event that you're going to and then just invite her, right? So maybe you're getting
yeah.
together with your friends and y'all are doing something fun. Even if you're not really getting together, just like say you're getting together and then talk to your boys on the back end and figure it out, figure out logistics.
Okay.
But just like you can just kind of say that, like they ask if her parents are asking you like, "Where you going? What's going on this weekend?" Like, oh, me and my friends are going blah 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 blah. Yeah, well, Lindsay just said we're going bowling. It's like, do any of y'all
All right,
bowl?
yeah,
It just be like,
because
do any of y'all bowl?
honestly,
Just make it like a group conversation. Do any of y'all bowl? And then kind of shift your eyes to
right.
her, and then she'll probably be like, yeah, oh, you should come. You should come. I'm sure your parents don't mind, would you? They're like, no, go
Okay,
bowling,
okay, I
right?
see.
That's the do that. Do that if if your mom can't create this situation, if you aren't going out to eat and you can't position yourself side by side, last ditch effort is just to bullshit some plans that you're doing and then invite her to go with you. And then that's a great way to get the socials and the number too. Because if she agrees, hey, let me
Oh,
get
for
your
sure, bro.
socials and I'll let you know the time and everything. Boom, right there. That's how you get the IG. Let me get you what's your Instagram? I'll let you know the time and everything. And that's how you pull it off.
Right, right. But also, what else was I gonna say? Meeting one on one. Sorry, I just forgot exactly. Yeah, no, honestly, because the fact that they just moved here, I live in Dubai, right? So they just moved here and they're looking for the house. I was honestly thinking that, okay, if we were to start speaking and we seem to hit it off good, I would honestly be more open to like, kind of like, showing her around the city, like, oh, like, because I know she likes to travel and stuff and she likes, she's very adventurous as her father describes her. So I really want to tap into that because I consider myself adventurous too.
Mm-hmm.
So then we can, like, I can advise her, like, okay, would you mind if I show you this place, or we can start
Don't
from
think
there.
too deep. Just think next step. Okay.
All right, next
All
step.
that stuff that you're talking
Right.
about, great, great.
That's
Assume
down the line more, right?
down the line, right? Right now, we have to
Yeah.
create contact outside of this current dynamic that's been established of like the families getting together. Okay. What I told you so far, that's how you get more one-to-one contact with her. Once you accomplish
Yeah.
that goal, then you can move on to the next step. Live in the present moment. Try not to plan out too far in the future. Okay. You want to be nimble. It's hard to be nimble when you're already like solidifying plans that haven't even you without having any kind of momentum yet. Okay.
Right, right. That's true. That's so true. Because like the way it's going now is like while they're here and still, I mean, they should finalize the house thing soon. But the way our families are kind of going about it is that we're meeting quite often. Like in the last, yeah, today was Wednesday. Like last Wednesday we met for the first time, and in a week we already met 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So if we just keep meeting up, it'll create more opportunities down the line. So if I had to think, like you said, the next step, I would probably say that the next time we meet, yeah, you're right. I would sit next to her, and I would try to talk to her one on one there with the
You
family
got three.
present.
You got three plays, bro. You got three. You got the mom.
That's
You
good
got the
though. That's
mom
good.
play. You got the sit side by side with her, and you got the Hail Mary. One of those is gonna work, okay? But be prepared to execute on any one of them. All
Oh,
right.
for sure, for sure. No,
All right,
honestly,
brother.
because like I said before, like I like how it's the family dynamic. It's not like I just found her randomly and then I decided to get our families together. Like the families meeting together is kind of the basis, and then now it's leading to it leads to whatever it leads to. But yeah,
Yeah. But come back
no, appreciate your advice.
after you execute. Come back. Let me know how it went. All right.
All right, sure, sure. How often do you do these lives, by the way?
Every night, bro. 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Okay, every night, I'll let you know whatever happens, right?
My man. Best of luck, bro.
And I appreciate the comments, hyping me up and stuff, yo.
You got this, man. You got it. All right,
Appreciate
kid.
it. It's
You take
actually
care.
been one of the better TikTok lives I've joined, because in Dubai, like the people who be on lives, they be like organizing all kinds of banter on here. Like there used to be a time when like I guess the working class will like get on here and they will just curse at each other. What is going on?
Yeah.
But if these kind of lives are like helpful, supportive, you asking people asking you for help, that's a great space, man. You gotta keep it up.
Appreciate you, brother. You take care.
All right, take.
That's a good dude, man. Hopefully, he sees it through. Danny, my bad. I think I muted you.
You're good. What's up?
What's going on, Chief?
Nothing much. You'll have to pardon my voice. I've been fighting off a fever these last few days.
Uh-oh, what's
I don't
going
think
on?
Zuckerberg liked the questions
You
I
tell
was
it.
asking.
You got mono.
Assassins to situate me.
You got mono from speed dating.
I think Zuckerberg sent some assassins. I was asking too many questions. They make money on single people.
Right,
You know?
right. What's going on, Chief?
So I was going to revisit the question. I was revisiting the book, The Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents, and I've noticed a lot of the ways we orient emotionally kind of come from how our parents behaved growing up. And the original question I had was, there are obviously skills men and women can develop to bring more spark or safety into their relationships.
Right.
But is there also an orientation we have based on, I guess, our upbringing, social circles, conditioning that make us lean more towards spark or safety?
Yeah, I think that's what we were getting into on Instagram, right? So I was saying that it definitely overlaps with attachment styles. So anxious guys tend to lean more towards safety, and then avoidant men tend to lean more towards spark.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I noticed when I was reading, like, for example, if you grew up with very emotionally volatile or unpredictable parents, you tend to develop more sensitivity or attunement.
Right.
Like, you tend to notice changes in people's patterns, or you tend to pick up on certain emotions quicker than other people because you get used to kind of sensing for those changes in those environments.
You're scanning for threats.
So
it's like that's how you kind of
that I thought about.
Yeah, that's how you regulate your nervous system, is being able to anticipate when there's going to be some sort of threat. So like people who are anxious, they tend to hypervigilance is what it's called. So they can pay attention if there's like chaos in the environment. They can kind of pay attention to like, okay, they can read the room. Anxious people tend to be really good at reading the room and noticing shifts. So while they shouldn't be hypervigilant, it does make them anxious, and it does like disturb their peace. What they're observing is also real a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Right. But that's the beautiful thing about when you start healing those attachment systems, is you still keep that superpower, because that hyper attunement is a superpower. It's just being weaponized against you. It's like I always say, fearful avoidant women can make some of the best partners relationally because they attune so well. But as a unhealed fearful avoidant, it works to their demise. But once they get on the other side and they kind of healed or have more control over that internal chaos, they can use that same strength or superpower for good, right? To where like they know you to your core.
Yeah.
They read you very well. They can know your needs before you know your needs and help to meet them.
That makes sense. Yeah, I think just something I touched on reading that. And to your point, I'm trying to remember the artist's name, but one of the lyrics that hit, he said, trauma's not your fault, but healing's your responsibility.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it's true for like all the styles, right? Like the avoidant has the ability to compartmentalize things.
Yeah.
That's a superpower if they're not, just unconsciously creating distance. The anxious person, like we already talked about, the hypervigilance, and they also are pretty good at attuning as well. So it's like once you heal, you still keep that superpower. It's just no longer controlling it. You have more control over it. But yeah, I mean, spark and safety is in order to exhibit both. It's almost like there's some degree of healing that must occur, right? If you're a guy who leans spark, you can't create safety unless you start to develop more emotionally.
Right.
Guys may ask me the questions they think, and that's my approach to this dating and relationship stuff. I made a video recently where I said the best dating advice to listen to is the dating advice where if you were to apply it, it would make you a better person.
Right.
Too many people are
Right.
fixated on the outcome. They're like, how do I get the man? How do I get the woman? Nah, focus on the dating advice that's going to make you a better person in the process. So what I do, I almost operate like a life coach because I help men like grow, heal, right? And
Hmm.
and women or a woman is just the carrot that I'm dangling. It's just the incentive. I'm incentivizing the healing and the growth by getting you what you think you want, which is a romantic connection, right? But yeah, if you're going to try to offer more safety romantically, you have to heal for that to occur. If you are going to operate, give more spark, then you have to be more bold, courageous. So that means to offer spark means you have to face your fears because a lot of guys don't offer spark because they're so fearful. They are playing it safe. So in the
Right.
process of learning how to give spark and safety, you are actually becoming a more whole individual. I gotta
That
make a video.
resonates with
I
me.
gotta make a video
Yeah.
about that. That's good. So yeah, that's how it works, and it's annoying because when I talk about this concept, guys like they'll hear it and be like, "Well, I want to just be myself. I want to just be me." Really, all they're
Yeah.
saying is, "I don't want to have to put in any work. I just want someone to just accept me as I am because they still have the Disney World goggles on. They're expecting a
Yeah.
mommy, right? They're expecting a mommy. Their orientation towards a romantic connection is what they think their mother is. So their mother is supposed to accept them as they are. They think that a woman in a romantic context is supposed to do the same, and that's just not true.
Right. It's just like that core fantasy that you can do what you want and be what you want, and someone should accept you for who you are.
Right.
Right.
And that's the
It's
hardest
just
thing to shake guys out of is that fantasy. The same guys will talk about like women having their fantasies of being delusional. They don't understand they're doing the exact same thing.
right.
It's a different delusion,
Right.
different fantasy.
And that's kind of the point. I made a comment on one of your videos, but that's something I wanted. The guy earlier when you were talking about the red pill stuff, like there's like a huge difference between like gimmicks and actual like integrated skills. Like
Right.
genuine skills are things that translate in all domains of life, whether it's friendships, co-workers, business, and as a byproduct, it makes you a more attractive person. Whereas like gimmicks are kind of what a lot of the red pill kind of teaches, and those things work in specific situations for usually insecure people.
Right.
That's why I don't recommend developing those. You should develop real integrated skills that just make you a better person as a whole, and as a
Right.
byproduct, you'll become a more attractive man.
Absolutely.
Um,
100%. And it's like, and I mean, like we already discussed, the red pill definitely works and it works on damaged
mhm,
people, as you pointed out, but it's also oriented towards the short term dynamics.
exactly.
All those guys are single. Like, you very rarely see a red pill guy who's like married or anything. I mean, there's Rollo
Right.
Tomasi who wrote The Rational Male. I think he's married, but that's exhausting because it's performative masculinity. And it's like you have to
Yeah.
keep up with the performance forever. And it's like once the mask drops, it's over with.
And I mean, if you look at their lore, they always end up marrying someone that's very insecure, very unstable. Those marriages are never the quality marriages that you'd ideally want to aim for, anyways.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's why I
kind of
resonated with my coach because he's been married for I think 12 years now, 3 children. So it's just a more integrated approach that is grounded and practical, that is oriented around growth instead of performance. Red pill ultimately
Right.
is performative. It's telling you to perform. With the content that I create, I'm trying to help you become.
Yeah.
So
Like self mastery.
exactly. That's it.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate the discussion. I'll let these other people ask their questions. Get the good sauce.
Appreciate you, Danny. Always got good stuff, brother.
Awesome. Well, I'll be in the chat.
All right, Chief. Take care. That's my guy right there. Dollar, what's going on?
Good morning.
Good morning. What can I do for you?
Like I found myself in this. Actually, I'm speaking from Ghana, so I found myself in this relationship that I don't know if I made the right decision or not. But
Okay.
I really need some advice.
Okay, what's going on?
Emotion. I was dating this girl. We have been dating almost half a year,
Okay.
and I cheated, and she found out. I begged her, but she said we should break up. Then we got separated for like 2 months. Then Later on, she texted me back, said that she haven't seen her period. And I asked her since when. She said that since she was with me, but she didn't know that it was serious. Then I said, okay, fine. Maybe we should check it out. I'll be around and we can be talking until everything is fine. Not knowing that when we got separated, she was talking to other guy too. So we were talking and things started working between us again. And I asked her, when we got separated, has she met another guy? She said no. I repeatedly asked her several times. She said no. Then we talked and everything worked out. Then we started dating again. Then later, I found out that it was her birthday. I took her out and she was taking some pictures or something. And her phone was with me. Then I went through her WhatsApp and I realized that she has been dating the guy when we broke up. And she is still with the guy after we have reconciled and we are still dating. And I confronted her and she told me that she met the guy when we got separated. And I said, okay, so how are we going to go about it? And she told me that she's going to leave the guy. So that's what she said at first. I gave her some time and I told her I'm going to give her some time to think about it. Either it's me she want to be with or she want to be with that guy. And she said, okay. I gave her time. She thought about it and she came back to me and said that she want to leave the guy for me. We have been together for 1 year. I really love her. She was really a good girl for me. So I gave it a chance and we were dating. It goes somewhere and I realized she was still talking with the guy. So I started monitoring her. Then I caught her a day talking to the guy. And I said that, now I'm okay with this. We should end the relationship. Then she begged me. And I have accepted her back. And we have been together for some time now, getting to almost 5 months. Things are really working between us very much. But for now, I don't feel okay. I don't know if I made the right decision by accepting her or not. I don't even know what to do. Sometimes I will be thinking and I don't even know, emotionally I'm down. I don't feel safe around her anymore. I don't trust her.
Right.
So I don't even know what to do right now.
It's a tough one, brother. It's a tough one. Because you opened up a can of worms by cheating yourself, right? Which I'm sure you already know. But if you want my advice, I would say it's probably best to end the connection. Because, and the reason for that is you're never going to have peace with this person, right?
Yeah, I haven't had peace.
Yeah, you're never gonna have peace. Which again, you created it.
Yeah, I've never had.
But it's like you're not gonna have peace at this point because you would have if when you discovered it initially, and she told you that she would end it. If she ended it then probably you'll be able to get past it. It's the fact that she told you she did and she really didn't, and she continued talking to him. So now it's like you're rightfully so considering if she's still doing it right now. Because when we confront people like that, when you confront, you need to be prepared to leave. Because when you confront people, all you're really doing is teaching them how to be more sneaky. You're teaching them how to not get caught, right? So it's like you confront people and it's like, I saw the message in your phone. So what they're thinking is like, okay, well, I need to delete those messages next time. Or I need to find another way to talk to this person. You're just training them how to be more sneaky. You got to build a RICO case. So it's like you got to sit and let them dig a hole and then go ahead and exit. right? But the whole like, I noticed, I saw you doing this. All you're doing is just teaching them how to hide it better. So if you're going to do that, you might as well go ahead and end the connection, because you're not going to have peace. You said that it's been 5 months since the last issue, and you're still thinking about it 5 months later. So that means you haven't noticed her.
We have been talking. We are like we are dating. We go out together. But anytime I feel like she's still doing it.
Right. And you're going to always feel that way. It's not going to go away. There's nothing that's going to, her telling you she's not is not going to appease you, because she told you she wasn't talking to him before and she still was. So you're just going to be very anxious for the rest of the time you deal with this person. So it is best for you to go ahead and end it. But learn the lesson, which is don't cheat, right? Because if there was no cheating on your end, you wouldn't even be in the situation. So that's the takeaway from this situation. So yeah, I would definitely go ahead and move forward, to be honest with you, because you're not going to ever trust her again.
No, I can't even trust her again.
All right, she probably doesn't trust you either. That's probably why she's doing it, because she's like, you're probably doing, shit yourself. That's probably how she's justifying it. Like, you cheated first for one, you're probably still cheating, so I should be able to have this on the side as well. So, yeah, I would go ahead and end it.
The problem is I don't even know how to end it right now, because for real, I really love her. I don't even know how to end it. I'm really struggling.
You gotta just rip that Band-Aid off, brother. I hear you. It's rough, but you gotta rip the Band-Aid off, man. Because it's like, you're gonna be damned if you do, damned if you don't. Okay. It's gonna be painful to end it, but you're gonna suffer if you stay in it. Okay.
It's really, really, really hard. I've been really struggling. So I realized the reason why I took her back, that I knew that I made the first mistake by cheating. So I accepted my mistake. That if I didn't cheat, we wouldn't have got separated.
Right.
So I accepted my mistake, that it was because of me that it happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know what to do. If the time that she texted me back, and I asked her, are you talking to someone? And if she did tell me the truth, I wouldn't have even bothered to even go into another relationship with her. But she told me she isn't. And I asked her, does she want us to be together? She said yes. I asked her repeatedly because I was having my doubts. So until we got back together and we were dating, then I found out that this is what is happening.
Brother, I hear you. We don't have to go over the details again. That's just what the situation is. Either you stay and you just suffer and be miserable because you're never going to trust her again, or you do the very painful thing, which is leave. That's just the bottom line. Okay?
Okay, brother.
All right, bro. You take care.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Connor, what's going on, bro?
Hey, man. I don't know. Things are going kind of good, but also halfway in iffy territory.
Okay, talk to me.
Let me explain. Stop. And so this past weekend and week, I've been on about 4 dates, and the one on Sunday went pretty well. I think she was even better looking in person than in the pictures, and she kept saying how I had good questions, and she said the conversation's really good, the company's really good, and we had a couple drinks, and she stayed out later than she usually does, but I didn't invite her back to my place at all.
Okay.
Like we talked about, you know. So I mainly focused on digging deeper when they were explaining things, making sure I fully understood it and all that.
Uh-huh.
And seems to go well. I made them laugh. There's some sexual innuendos I made jokes about.
All right.
And got a kiss at the end of the night.
Hey.
And then she went home and texted me she got home safe. But then, before we even walked out, she goes, okay, next time we're together, I have the drinks. I was like, oh, there's a next time? And she goes, oh, and I teased her about that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't heard from her. And I messaged her. I was like, okay, well, if we're going to do round 2, I might need your number. And Have not heard from her. I went on a date the next day with, I think the best one out of the three girls that I were seeing, and we had a fun time. She was pretty much faced me the entire date in her seat. She broke the touch barrier. I broke the touch barrier. We were joking. I made sexual innuendos. I asked a ton of questions and made her laugh, and we were laughing together. And I think we just had a really good time. Talk about bad dates, good dates, and everything in between.
Mm-hmm.
And got a kiss at the end. Told her to text me when she got home. She did, and she also agreed that she would really like to see me again. And I haven't heard from her either. And then the third one I have is the bartender from the first date that I just told you about. She's been texting me every day, and we've been hanging out every night and kind of making out and flirting and whatnot. So
Okay. So when you say you haven't heard from these two, are you texting them and they're just not responding, or are you waiting for them to text you?
Well, so the one on Sunday, I told her to text me when she got home, and she did.
Mm-hmm.
And I replied the next day, or no, I replied that day and said, glad you got home safe. And then I think, what was it, yesterday, I sent another message saying, if we're going to do a second round, I probably need your phone number. And didn't hear anything from that. And then the other girl, who I've met several times, she's a friend of a friend, and she, she seemed pretty happy and excited, and talked about all these things that we had in common and whatnot. And like I said, she agreed to a date over text, and I just said, okay, well, no, this was on Tuesday also. I said, let me know when you're free this weekend, and we can plan something. I haven't heard from any of these girls for almost 48 hours now. So
Okay. So, but you don't have either of their numbers. You're talking to them on the app?
just the one on Sunday was just the app. This one, the one on Monday, I have her phone number.
The one on Monday, you have her phone number, but she still isn't responding.
Yeah, I have her phone number, and I've also I went to her volleyball games because my friend is on the volleyball team, and she was the one who was like, hey, you should totally date my friend. And so we started hanging out, and I, started texting her and asked her out eventually. I went to a couple of the volleyball games just to kind of get a feel, and seemed like we were both pretty feeling it all night and every time we were around each other.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what has shifted since the last time we spoke? Is the only thing that shifted is you just haven't tried to seal the deal on the first night?
Yes, I'll still tease them about whatever. I'll make jokes,
Okay.
sexual innuendos.
Yeah.
Like they, say something's tight. I was like, oh, how tight is it? Stuff like that.
All right. Okay.
I'll do that. I get that kiss at the end of the night or make out.
Okay.
And I don't try to go for the close anymore. Like you said, just try to not do that. Plus, they both said they were on a very tight time restraint. They both go to bed at 9 p.m. because one works in the military and the other one is a teacher.
Right. Okay. So, but are you being yourself though on the date? What I mean by that is, can they see you? Because remember, that's what we talked about was part of the core issue is you kind of lean into performance. So you have a checklist in your head. That's what you're even listing it out in this call. Okay, I did sexual innuendo. So you know the things to do. Okay, we got to stay muted if we're in the panel, people. You know the things to do, but are you really showing who you are?
Yes. If I ask a question or if they talk about something, I'll also talk about a shared experience that relates to that, and then when they share something, I also dig very deep. I'm like, oh, so this happened and this happened, and I'll just kind of keep asking questions about that, and I'll ask a little bit more personal stuff. I'll family. How were you in high school? What are you a big texter or caller? I'll ask little things, nothing too
Right.
crazy.
But like, are you displaying any degree of vulnerability?
Uh, yeah. So if family gets brought up, I also talk about like, I had a terrible stepmom. We never got along. She hated me growing up.
Okay.
My dad knew about it, and I'll
Okay.
talk about that. But I don't just bring it up.
Right.
randomly.
Yeah. I'm just saying when it in a calibrated fashion, when it makes sense, you are kind of revealing certain aspects about yourself. Okay. I think what you're experiencing is just typical variability when it comes to dating apps, right? Like there's one woman who you're seeing a lot, which is the bartender. So you have a woman who you're actively seeing, but two women who haven't gotten back to you isn't necessarily a pattern yet, right? Dating apps are known to be the most chaotic environments because there's always other players in the board making moves on the women that you're talking to,
Of course.
right? So
Yeah.
it's like that's part of the reason why you obviously created spark on the dates, which is why you're able to kiss them, right? Make out
Yeah.
at the end of the date.
Every first date, every girl wants to kiss me or ask me for a second date.
Right.
I've had makeouts within 15 minutes before. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about how that's probably want to go that fast with it because then you kind of put yourself in like one night stand territory. So they'll be in and out, right? They'll just put the label on you as the guy to just have fun with right now, and then they don't want to talk to you anymore. But yeah, I think in these situations it's just variability. Like you may hear back from the first woman that you talked about where you didn't have her phone number. I would work on the message that you sent. The whole like I should probably like just say what's your number, right? Like it's like words like probably they kind of weaken your positioning. That's like a smaller detail. It's just it matters though. Definitely matters. But yeah, I feel like if this number doubles, if we go from 2 to 4 and it's the same outcome, okay, that's enough to be statistically significant, and I would say a pattern has been established, and then we can go a bit deeper. But right now, what you're saying, like, that's just normal variance. To be honest with you, even if they did want to see you again, remember they're saying that in the moment, right? So the moment that may be true, then after that moment has passed, maybe they think more about it and just change their mind.
Yeah. No, I get that. I know what a lot of people say they mean at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean they mean it 24 hours later.
Right, they're in a different state. So when they get into a different state, it's like, that's why I tell guys, they'll try to go out to like clubs and stuff and get women's numbers. And I'm like, bro, the guys who do that are sleeping with those women that night.
Yes.
They're not getting the number and then trying to, they're a damn near a different person the day after that, right? So it's like, this woman that has like 3 or 4 shots in her and she gives you her number, like when she sobers up, she's not even the same person anymore. She don't care about what happened at the club. So, yeah, I would say this is a typical variance. See if it continues to go in this pattern. My gut says that it won't. But if it does, definitely come back and then we'll dive deeper because then there's obviously something more going on. Okay?
Right. I just assumed I'd give them several days before I send anything else again.
Yeah, right. Yeah, don't make if you've already
kind of let it cool out.
Exactly. I wouldn't send any more messages. And if it continues to happen, I'll need to see I'll need you to share with me your dating app profile.
Of course.
Because if it continues happening and dates are going the way you're describing them and you're not trying to make out within 15 minutes, you're not trying to sleep with him the first night, then the next hypothesis would be the way that you are positioning yourself on the app itself makes them pre-filter you as the fun guy.
Right.
So now you set them up to like be disappointed if we don't seal the deal on night 1.
Right. Well, Again, the second one was a friend of a friend, and she.
Okay, so this wasn't even an app. That's right. So one was an app, another one was a friend of the friend.
Yeah, the first one was from Duet, which I don't have sexual stuff on there
Gotcha.
like at all. I don't
Okay.
think.
Okay.
And like I said, the other one is friend of a friend and I've watched her do volleyball twice now. So
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, and this is 100% variance then, and it would be more helpful if like you source the women the same way each time, because one being the friend, the other one being the app. That's just those are two different situations entirely, so we can't lump them into the same category.
okay. And to be fair, I did on purpose frame myself as not the biggest texter in the world because that's been a problem in the past. So I figured I'd kind of snip it in the butt there. I would ask them, you texter, caller, in person kind of person, and
Okay.
they would say whatever. I'd be, oh well, for me, texting is a little bit like emails. I think it's a little formal. I would much rather do a call or in person any day of the week, and so I think that might be a little bit of it, but probably not 100% of it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So definitely go out there, put some more shots up, come back. Let me know what the results are. But yeah, I think right now you're just experiencing just typical variance.
Okay. I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Till next time, man. All right. Who we got next? Newell.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. What about you?
Good. What can I do for you?
I actually have a series of problems.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, I'm physically disfigured.
Okay.
And it's kind of made me unconsciously seek validation. And when I'm conversing with the opposite sex, I notice I unconsciously overthink things, and it messes my chances of having a big connection. I'm trying to. I didn't notice I was seeking validation until I grew older and read about it, and now I don't know how to unseek it and just talk to someone without really wanting them to like me back or wanting them to, or caring what they think about me. And it's really messing with my chances.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How old are you?
I'm 26.
26. When you say disfigure, in what way?
Okay, I started reading, I started watching content, I started making more researches, and I noticed I was unconsciously seeking validation or unconsciously wanting to be accepted. And I kind of noticed maybe it was because of my body, and it kind of messed with my whole acceptance or self-acceptance.
No, my question is, you said that you were disfigured. Like, in what way?
Okay, first of all, I'm very smallish one.
Okay.
I have a big tummy and I'm hunched.
You say you're small, so you're on the shorter end?
Yes.
And what else?
Yes. I'm hunched.
Okay. So like you're hunched over a little bit?
Kind of.
Okay.
More than a little bit.
Okay. And what else?
That's all.
That's it? Okay.
But the thing is, when I was younger, like 20, 21-ish, pulling girls wasn't a problem for me. I dated the prettiest, thickest and all. But now that I'm older, it's a problem. I don't know why.
Right. What is your social life like?
A little bit in between, but mostly introvert because of my work.
Because of your
School, home. Then once in a while, I just step out, have fun, and come back home. But that's just once in a while.
Okay. Okay. So do you have like a good deal of friends?
Most of them just my childhood friends. I don't make new ones.
Okay.
Mostly just one, to be honest, just one.
Gotcha. Okay. It's gonna be harder for you, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. So, but just like the advice I give other people, you have to treat it like a social problem, right? So if your looks aren't going to be something that are very changeable, you have to over index on your behavior, right? Which means we have to really get the social skills on point, right? So even in this conversation, like you're very low energy, you're talking in a very like logical way. There's no real variance in your tonality, right? We got to work on how you project your personality. Okay. You have to talk in a way to where like you want to be heard. You're talking in a way where it's like you almost don't want to be heard. You can't afford to talk like that, right? Not with the limitations that you have. You kind of have to go in the direction to where like your energy is the captivating thing about you. So we have to start working on your energy a bit. Right now, you sound very stifled and unsure of yourself, right? And that's okay. We all start from somewhere, but that's going to be where you're going to have to put most of your attention. All right. So, part of the way you're going to do that is be more social. Start doing activities that you enjoy, activities that you can do. I don't know your physical limitations, but start putting yourself in spaces that, you know, make your energy spiral upwards. Hobbies, clubs, social events. Find things that are going to make you feel good and that you can actually display a degree of competence in, right? That's going to position you to get more social momentum. You're going to be in spaces where you can talk to more people and then kind of break out of that shell a little bit. Once you break out of that shell energetically and you start to engage more people, you start to speak with more authority, you start to carry yourself as if God Himself sent you, then you're going to be positioned correctly to start formulating some sort of romantic connections. But from where you are right now, I wouldn't focus on romantic connections yet. I would focus on friendships. I would focus on social connections first. Get good there. Once the energy is good there, then you'll be a bit more captivating to the opposite sex. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely, brother. So give that a try. Follow back up with me. That's step one. Once step one has been accomplished, come back. We'll start working on step two. All right.
Okay.
All right, bro. You take care of yourself, man.
So,
All right. All right. Who else we got? Whoa. Hold on.
Oh, hey.
What's going on, man?
So I was on the live last time and I did what you told me to do. So just ask her, hang out, no like dating thing.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, as I was getting a ride with her, she started playing with my hair. So like she was poking at it and she was also telling me, "Why are you cute?" Like.
Okay. That sounds good.
As we got to where we were going, so I have this coat, right? This dressing coat that I wear.
Right.
And then I just take it off because it was hot in there, and I just took it off.
Uh-huh.
And then she just takes it, and then she just wears it, and then says, "Why does it smell good?"
Okay.
So I don't know if maybe I should go again or.
Yeah. What do you mean?
If I should take the shot or not.
Absolutely. What are we talking about? She should give you so many green lights. So I forgot what your original call was. So like I told you to just ask her to go hang out and not call it a date.
Yeah.
Okay. So this girl, how did you just recap it real quick for the chat real quick?
All right. So basically, she had been asking me a few weeks ago. Like I was talking to her, she would always pull me aside, in conversations mostly.
Mm-hmm.
And then I asked you what I should do, and you basically told me ask her out, but don't ask her as a date. Just ask her to hang out.
Okay.
That's what you told me.
Yeah, because y'all are young, right? This is in school.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So she agreed to go out with you. Y'all went out, and she was flirting heavy. And
Yep.
now your question is, what do you do now?
Yeah.
Yeah, just ask her out. She's giving you all the green signs to show you that she's interested in you. She's wearing your clothes. She's making physical contact with you. She's calling you cute, telling you smell good. So now you don't have to play it a little bit safe anymore. Now it can just be like, you can call it a date now. I would be confident and say like we should plan our second date soon. So you pretend like the first date was really a date, right? And you call the second hangout the second date. That she'll smile immediately when she reads that. So yeah, you should yeah, definitely ask her out again, bro.
All right. Thank you. I just need to make sure.
Okay, come back after you do. All right, I know you're gonna have some good stuff to say after the second date. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right, big dog. Take care, man. I need to start keeping these as testimonials. Rayan is back.
Yeah, yes, I'm back. So, it's been interesting listening to other people's questions and how you answer them really well.
Mhm.
It's been good to hear that. For this type of question, I'm sort of going to delve a bit deeper into sort of like the past, what I've been doing.
Okay.
So, as you remember the story of how I'm interested in this new girl, we were in a family setting. Previously, I was into a girl we started off as school friends initially. We were classmates.
Okay.
And then, I always had feelings for her earlier on because getting to know her then, I noticed, again, we had things in common and honestly, I had her on my mind to eventually get with her soon. But then, obviously, things came along in the way. We had final exams, which meant that obviously we were focusing on studying as well. And she really helped get me through that exam season as well because I was kind of like unsure of myself whether I was going to perform well or not. I previously told her about my experiences, how I struggled, and we sort of had like a trauma bond where it's like I felt like I could just tell her about how I felt before. Tell her what I experienced before, how difficult I found things, and she was there to just reassure me that okay, you're gonna be fine, you're gonna do amazing. Like she was just really good. It was just good to have her there at that time. So naturally, we just kept talking even throughout the summer break. Even though she traveled, we still kept in contact. And then when the new year began, we weren't close initially because we actually split up classes. We were in different classes. But then eventually, when it was my birthday at the start of the academic year, she wished me happy birthday. And then we just continued talking on from there. And then I got to know her more and more then because then classes weren't as serious. So then feelings started to arise again, but this time more so. But then, classes became even more serious. And then I just kind of postponed letting her know or communicating my feelings to her. But then eventually what happened was she had told me out of the blue that she started seeing someone else. So that really hit me at a spot where it's like, damn, I felt really regretful that I should have expressed my concerns earlier. I should have, expressed how I felt earlier. And it was a pretty bad period of time where like I was just trying to manage so many things.
Right.
And then eventually I realized afterwards that she wasn't really worth it because we did speak again after that when she had left that guy, and it was quite a thing. But I guess the question I'm really trying to ask is that with me, I've realized that the way I want to go about meeting someone is I would like to start being friends with them first and then going on to the dating side. So my question to you would be is that how could I navigate this upcoming endeavor or future endeavors differently so that I don't make the same mistakes or I don't mess up? What could I improve in that?
Why do you want to be friends first?
Because it just gives me a chance. I feel like it gives me a chance to get to know them better first and to assess whether we're compatible, if we have common interests and whatnot.
What, you can't assess that if you just date them?
I've always thought that Good question, actually, but it's like, I don't know, I've always thought that it's better to be friends with them first. Me personally, that's what I've always thought.
Not
I've never
necessarily.
really thought about dating first.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the context of the situation. Like if you're going the religious route, like okay, then that may be fair, right? If it is, it's never. It's just a unnecessary extra step in the process. A lot of people want to be friends first. A lot of guys want to go be friends first because they want to play it safe.
Yeah.
And it delays
Correct.
it delays rejection, because you know if you try to be friends with a woman, she's not going to reject you, right? So it's like okay, it's safe.
You only get rejected once you communicate your feelings, I guess, and then she
Right.
kind of
Exactly.
says then.
And you said something
Okay.
important like don't communicate your feelings. I'm not saying that you should not ever communicate your feelings. They should be implied. So you should take action. Right? Like you ask her on a date. You spend time with her. You ask to see her again. Right? You escalate in some fashion, whether that's verbally or physically. You ask her to be exclusive or to be your girlfriend, right? At no point are you having to like emotionally dump on her, because the actions you're taking implies how you feel about her. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the
It's
emotional.
just, I just thought I'd share the stuff of the past because, like, I just wanted to let you know where I was coming from initially.
Right.
Whereas with now, obviously, a long time since then went by, I took the route of really improving myself and resolving a bunch of issues that I had personally.
Right.
So I think taking the time to reflect on that has helped me improve myself and be more content with myself as well. So yeah, going into the future as well, looking forward to really improving myself and realizing my mistakes as much as I have.
Right.
But yeah, no, I really wanted to be friends with her first was because, again, I was kind of unsure whether, again, we were compatible or not. And I guess being friends with her first allowed me to assess whether there were any red flags that were glaring at me.
Yeah, the problem that you're going to
I
run
mean,
into.
I'd admit as well.
The problem you're going to run into
Yeah,
is playing the. Yeah, the
I made the
problem.
mistake of ignoring certain red flags as well. So I guess, you know, it's all in all in the past. It's all in all mistakes. But I've learned from them, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, the problem you'll run into if like you play the friend angle is one, a lot of guys don't know how to manage the friend angle and keep tension, right? But then also you position yourself for another man who doesn't want to be friends to come in and just swoop her off her feet in front of you.
That's true. But actually, there was a point where I told you, I mentioned that she got with someone when I had feelings for her. But then eventually, when things with her and that guy did not end up continuing, and then she actually, again, we became sort of friends again, and she told me about it, about what had happened. She became the one venting to me about what happened. She had told me that he had been pursuing her for quite some time, but they also had started from more of a friends kind of start. It wasn't like he had just wanted to pursue her with the intention of dating, and then they just got together like that. Because with me, it sounded like she got with him out of the blue. But then, according to her, that's not what happened. Apparently, he had interest for quite some time, and they hit off as friends first, and then they got together.
Right.
But then it was such a pain for me because, I mean, I kind of took it personally. That's like, how come you were able to get with him so easily, and then I felt like we knew each other on such a deeper level that like she totally disregarded that connection. You know, that's why I kind of stung more, and I guess that's why.
No, because you didn't make a
I took
move.
it personally.
You didn't move things forward with her.
True.
Yeah, you can't be mad at her, bro. You didn't move anything forward. That's your job.
Oh yeah, I agree. No, I was just thinking about my state of mind back then when it happened. Obviously now
Gotcha.
I've learned
Okay.
and
I got you.
thought about that. That's why I thought to ask. That's why I thought to ask what to change going forward,
Right.
just so I could do things right.
Yeah, you got it. You got it, bro. All right, man. But definitely keep me posted with the new situation, all right?
Yeah, for sure. All right. Thanks
All
so
right,
much.
Chief. All right, who we got? Charlene? Or Charlene? Hi.
Actually, really bad situation right now.
You say you're in a bad
Because
situation right now?
I don't know if it is right that he's going to break up with me with email, and And you know what the sad part? He didn't even talk to me, or even he didn't send me a message, or if he confirmed it first for me, and he believed his friend than me. We've been for 2 years. I thought that he already know me.
Okay, look, do you have a
But
question?
I can't. Yeah, I can't believe that. Um,
Love, hey, do you have
believe
a
his friend
do
than
you
me,
have
and
a
if even
question about this situation?
my question is that okay that if he's going to break up with email?
No, I mean it's not a good thing to do, but if somebody's going to break up with you over email, then they clearly don't care that much about you, right? So you got to just move on, love.
Actually, this is really complicated, and I think he misunderstood what his friend told him. But I can't believe that he believed his friend over me, and even not confirming if it's true or what.
I hear you, but sometimes things are out of our control. All right, you can try talking to him, send him a respond to his email, and explain yourself. But ultimately,
But yeah, I already sent him a
okay,
message a lot, even
okay,
his email in WhatsApp, but
got you.
he didn't even reply even just once.
Okay, well
And
then,
he didn't
love,
even
hey, you
read
have
my
to.
message.
Well, then you got to just move on, then, love. Unfortunately, okay,
They said that I need to let go.
right, okay, all right. Best of luck, love. You take care. Pierre, what's up?
How are you? How are you?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, so I met this girl. I did.
Your audio's very, very like wonky right now, bro.
Is it better?
Yeah, we're good.
Alright. Yeah, so last Saturday I was in the coffee shop and then I met
Hi.
I met this girl. I was just sitting, she just walked in. I obviously found her attractive, but I didn't say anything to her because I kind of felt shy. I just was reading or doing my thing. And then when I went to order something, she actually came up to me and then asked for a Wi-Fi and whatever. So, long story short, when she got back to her spot, I came back to my spot. I asked her some questions. We started talking. The conversation went so well. And then she said she gave me her number. And I said I had to leave, and she said she would stay till like 9 p.m. And then as I was walking out, because she was busy studying, she texted me. And then she was like, it was nice meeting you. And then she sent me like a winky emoji. And then she said she apologized. She had to cut the conversation short because she had to study. She didn't want to stop talking with me. But she would love to talk to me very soon. That was it. And then the question is that, like, what do I need to do? Because that's the only conversation we had.
Okay, I missed a little bit of parts of that. So this is someone who approached you when you were out.
Yeah, I was in a library, like a coffee shop. I actually liked her, but I didn't say anything. But she came to me.
Okay, she came up to you and she said what?
Yeah, she was just asking for some Wi-Fi stuff. It was the first time she was there.
Okay, so she was just making conversation, and then y'all exchanged numbers.
Yeah, she actually gave me her number.
Okay.
Her business number. I said, I don't think I need this kind of business. And then I texted her to that number. I didn't go through. And then she said, oh, I'm going to give you my actual number. And she did give me her number. And then I say hi. And then she said, I was saying bye because I was leaving. She actually texted me first, said it was nice meeting me and stuff. And then said that she apologized that she had to cut the conversation short because she has to study for an exam.
Mm-hmm.
But she would love to talk to me more soon. That's what she texted.
Okay. And then what was your response?
I said it's okay. I understand focus when you on whatever you're doing and best of luck. I would like to talk to you soon too. And then she said, bless you. And that was the last thing she said. She said she had the test in like a few days.
Gotcha. And then that's the last time y'all communicated?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your question here?
What do I need to do?
Plan a date.
I know, but I just don't want to call her because she might be busy. I don't know. So that's
Shoot her a text.
Okay. Now, I've already planned the date. Don't worry about it. That's already planned out.
Okay. Yeah, like shoot her a message and ask her, what her schedule is like. I wouldn't just like shoot that out the blue. Try to have a little bit of like establish a bit more rapport first. Maybe asking her like maybe shoot her a text and like I imagine you're 3 hours deep in studying right now, right? And establish a bit of rapport first, and then ask her what her schedule looks like, and then plan a date.
All right.
That's it.
Okay.
Couldn't be easier than this, Chief.
I mean, it's easy. It's just that I don't want to come off as pushy because this thing sometimes I really like her, so.
Well, you don't know if you like her yet. You haven't dated her yet.
I'm saying physically because we had a conversation.
Okay.
He's like 5'4". That's like my type of girl,
Right. So it's like when women approach you like this, they still expect you to like lead. That's what messes a lot of guys up. Is like if the woman makes the first move and she approaches, they're like, okay, well I guess she's just going to take care of everything. It's they just got the ball rolling. They still expect you to like almost behave as if you got their number, you initiated things, right? So all you gotta do, bro, is just plan a date. You've been here before. Don't let the fact that you're physically attracted to her like psych you out. She's just a woman, right?
I just know, I'm just trying to. Okay, I would do that.
Yeah, that's just a play. She obviously is attracted to you. So just have a little bit of light banter, right? I would make the play of like making some joke about her studying or something like that, just to establish a bit of more rapport, right? And then ease into setting some sort of date up. You're in the game. This is a layup.
Okay, thank you.
Say it again.
I said thank you.
No problem, bro. Follow up with me and let me know how it goes, all right? All right, Pierre, you take care, man. Okay, who we got? Ben. This is probably the most guy callers we've had. I love this. Ben, what's going on?
What's up, dude?
What's up, Chief? You gotta go. You're making too much noise. Sorry, Ben. I don't know what you got going on over there, but I would not. You gotta chill out with the gooning. Newell, what's going on?
Hi.
How you doing?
So, this is basically an update. I think I talked to you like maybe like a few weeks ago about this guy. You probably don't remember me, but there's this guy we have been seeing each other for a little bit. He is my neighbor. He also works with me, and somehow we end up like kind of like dating, but it feels like casual, very, very casual.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple, like I want to say like 3 or 4 days, like last Thursday, he was on my place. He spent like 48 hours at my place. Weird. He goes, because he had work the same night. He left my place at like 1 p.m. He had work. So the point is, I haven't heard from him after that, but then I bumped into him because we live in the same apartment. But I bumped into him and everything was normal. He was like, basically he just said hi. We had a little back and forth, like just normal chat.
Mm-hmm.
So the point is, like, he just shows up and then he disappears, like completely disappears, gone for like, I want to say a week. Don't hear from him whatsoever. And then he randomly pops up, right? So I don't know if, so like, I don't want him to feel like I'm coming at him for like not putting the effort, because like you know, it's just like not cool. I don't want to be like, oh, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. I don't want to be the girl that's gonna be nagging a guy to, you know. But I also want like clear. I want him to know like what my expectations are, and if he's not gonna meet that expectation, there's no point of me entertaining this. I just don't know how to like come forward with it and kind of like just say it without being too, you know.
This is a waste of time.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's a waste of
I
time.
just don't know. Like, I just want to have the clear conversation. But also, like, he is a resident and he's getting, so he's transferring to another hospital. So he's matching this next week. And I don't know if I want to have the conversation after the match day because I don't want him to be overwhelmed with everything that's going on at the same time.
You say he's a
Well,
resident?
like,
He's a resident?
Yeah.
I don't think you're understanding me when I say this is a waste of time. It's a waste of time, meaning there's no need to even have the conversation.
So just go ghost.
I mean, you can end it, but it's like you're telling me this is someone who goes a week without talking to you. You think someone who saw any kind of serious viability with being in a long-term relationship with you would go a week without talking to you?
I
You
mean,
think that he
yeah,
doesn't know? Do you think that he doesn't know, as a grown-ass man, he doesn't know
literally.
that
Yeah.
he should probably talk to you more frequently than that? If he
I know,
wanted
like,
you seriously?
That's what I, you know, like we've had like not directly about our situation, but like we've had this conversation. And he's been mentioning, oh, like I'm just so bad at communication. Like that's what happened in my past relationship, and I have told him like, you know, if a man wants to do something, like not just a man, like if anyone wants to, you know, communicate with someone, you make time. You know, like I also work 12-hour shifts. You're not the only one who's working 12 hours. You know, like come on, make it make sense, right?
Even if it was an excuse, right? It's like that clearly doesn't work for you. So let's say he's really bad at communicating, right? He has an awareness of that. He's so bad, in fact, that he has an awareness of it. He still hasn't solved the problem. You know he's bad at communicating, and it still bothers you that he doesn't communicate. So that tells us that you are out of alignment. So again, there's no point of having the conversation. Is he just going to magically get better if you have the conversation with him? No, he's not. He's likely going to continue doing the same thing, and it doesn't work for you. So if it doesn't work for you now, it's not going to work for you later. Right? So either A, it's a real constraint to where that it doesn't work for you because you need someone that's more communicative, or B, it's just a expression of his lack of interest. No matter what scenario it is, both don't work for you.
Yeah, I just like, so no communication. So do I just like go ghost or like?
You don't have to ghost. You can just let him know that like
it's weird because like I always bump into him and I literally don't know how to act. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, you don't have to go ghost. You can just let him know that you've enjoyed meeting him. But you rather keep things platonic now. That's one way to go. Or like be nice about it. You don't have to be mean.
Yeah, I'm not a mean person. That's what I'm saying. Like I can't like I'm not too much of like, oh, you gotta do this and you gotta do that. No, it's like, you know, like this is what my expectations are. And you know, you can't do that. Like we don't, you know, there shouldn't be any bad blood here. Like we're good. But like you said, like he's not gonna change because of one conversation, that's for sure.
Right.
So like right now, like you think it's like, okay, just like keep it normal, like because what if like every time like the last time I saw him when he leaned towards me, I kind of like gave him my cheeks, but like I don't want that awkward interaction because like it's just, you know, like I just want to avoid that. Like I want you to stay away from me if we're not going to continue this, like just stay away.
And this is someone you work with?
Yeah.
See, this is why
like,
people say don't deal with coworkers.
But like sometimes when he covers.
Yeah, this is why people say don't date coworkers. I mean,
I
listen.
know, like that was like the worst mistake, especially being a new grad. Like never do that, guys.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
So it's gonna be a little awkward. That's just the price that you pay for you know, dealing with someone that you work with. But it's like the awkwardness will dissipate.
Okay.
It will. It'll be very awkward at first. But over time, it'll normalize. You'll find a new normal. It's just what you have to deal with.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm not gonna say anything.
No, you can tell him that you're done with the connection, whatever nice way that you want to tell him that, right?
Yeah.
Done
So
with
you
that
just say,
romantic.
oh, like I expect this and that, and you don't seem to do that. So like I don't think we can continue this.
You don't even have to give him that like explanation unless he asks for it and you want to share that. But you don't have to go that far with it. You could just say that, you're just not feeling a romantic connection. It's just where you're at, but you wish him the best.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
Okay.
You know what? Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah. To say I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem, love. You take care, all right?
Thank you. Bye.
Basically telling her text messages that I've been sent. Yeah, you don't have to be rude. Just go ahead and let them know what the situation is. A good way is just like you want to keep things platonic. That's a good message to send. All right. Who's this? Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So, I've been here. I actually don't know what I called for, but I called, I think, maybe 2 weeks ago or something
Okay.
about giving someone money, and you said I was expecting the money back. Remember?
Vaguely.
Okay. So, the issue after that is that he broke up with me, which is fine. But it was the way he did it that pissed me off. He said he's good at communicating.
Do you have a question about the situation, Lo, or is this going to be a venting session? Do you have a question here?
Yeah, in
Okay.
a way, I do have a question.
Okay. Continue.
I'm still trying to understand the entire situation.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay. Maz, don't bring anyone up. I'll once we hit like 10 minutes out, I'll bring everybody else up. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so I get that I lent him the money, and I didn't lend him the money. I gave him the money, and he wasn't expecting me to pay back, and I was expecting him to pay back. And I remember you said I wasn't being nice. No, I wasn't not nice. You said I wasn't a giver because I was expecting him to give me back the money.
Right.
But the whole thing was that I was expecting him to give me, to prove to me he was interested in the entire thing.
Right.
But the script got flipped over. At the end of the day, it looked like I did something bad. And he said, I never asked you for the money, was his words. I didn't ask you. I was like, you asked me. You told me your credit card was declining and bullshit and all that. And he said he never asked me for it. And the whole thing got so bad that we ended up breaking up, which is fine. But I don't understand. What I don't understand is if I actually did something bad. If giving him the money was the whole idea. Because it turns out I don't think as a human being he liked me, and I can't separate the two. It's one thing to break up about money, it's another thing to not care about the individual, the person.
Okay. You gotta just let it go, love. Like you're thinking too deeply into it. I vaguely remember your situation. I vaguely remember that you gave him money and then you were saying that you didn't want it back, but then you kept mentioning how you needed money. And then he sent them, so you did want him to send the money back, which was probably just an annoying situation. So I vaguely remember this. I don't want to have to ask you questions because we've already talked about this, right? So, yeah, you just have to move on, love.
But do you think it's a good enough reason to break up, though?
From what I remember about your situation, yeah, it probably was a very annoying situation. It's probably very annoying. So there is, you can break up for any reason. Let's just start there. Like if I told you no, what would be okay? Now what? Like if I said, hey, that's not a good reason to break up. Are you going to go to him and be like, hey, actually, I don't agree. This is not a good reason for us to break up. So we should get back together. No, it doesn't work like that. You're still gonna be broken up. Right? The lesson is just to not play the game of trying to gauge how somebody feels about you, right? And also not to lend money that you need. That's another lesson from it. But yeah, I gave you a lot of stuff to work with on the first conversation. So you just have to move on from this situation. It sounds like y'all weren't in alignment anyway, based on what I do remember about your situation. So I get that it's annoying when somebody breaks up with you. It hits your ego. You kind of want to be the person to break up with them. But yeah, you just have to move on from the situation ultimately.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
No problem, love. Best of luck to you. All right. Do I want to take any more calls? I kind of don't, to be honest with you. All right, no more calls. I'll chill with y'all for a little bit. Feel free to drop a question in the chat if you have one. I'll answer it there, but don't feel like taking any more calls. We're done with the calls for tonight. But I will be live again tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern time, so you can come back, call in. It was a successful day back to live. That was good. After a 3-day hiatus. You were over 3 calls ago. You think so? You think so? Nah, I'm tired now. So I'm not going to be at my best at this point. I'm feeling a slight headache, but I'm good. Other than that, Gigi, good to see you, love. I want you here earlier. I'm very upset that you weren't here for the noon live. I was looking for, I said, where's Gigi at? Where's my Gigi? Stressed you out? No call really stressed me out. We had some good calls today, though. I'm glad the fella showed out. I don't know if that's because I have a video that's currently going viral or what, but, well, viral-ish. Oh, you were working? I got you. Why would a guy keep in touch with the past friends with benefits while in a relationship? I think you know the answer to that, Becca. I think you know the answer to that. I think you know why he would keep in contact with the friends with benefits. You gotta keep them preheated so they don't go nowhere, right? Hey, Marquette, so happy to see you. What's going on, Diamond? Diamond, you missed the noon live as well. What's going on? You and Gigi stood me up. Yeah, I don't play with nobody having any kind of friendships with people who have been inside them. There's no way. Can't work. Can't work. Nope. Nope. So automatic, so auto reject in my book. It's okay for guys say it's okay for a guy says he's secretly in love with someone and don't want to get close with that person. What do you mean is that okay? We need you to complete the call that got you banned. It wasn't that call, but yeah, Shorty needs to come back. That was Shorty who was thinking about moving over her boyfriend. I need to send her a DM. Because she probably doesn't know we back in action. It was like uni, something like that. I say this all the time. Deal breaker for me, 100%. People will try it though. They'll try, but oh, they're just friends. Nope. If that's your friend, I'm your enemy. We're enemies now, love. I don't like you anymore. They know each other inside out, right? What if they have a lot of mutual friends? I don't care what the situation is. We are simply incompatible if that's the case. You're friends with guys who have cracked before? Friends? No, 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 no. Nope, 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 nope. It's also like a sign of avoidant attachment. Avoidant people like to keep past connections around. They never want the door to fully close. They'll call them friends in order to make the connection seem innocent when it's not. What are some reasons a guy would get cold feet for a date he set up and end up flaking? I don't think you should really concern yourself with that, Karina. To be honest with you, like if somebody is just not showing up for a date, especially if they're making a pattern of it, then you just aren't in alignment. We have to stop trying to figure people out. But I wonder why they did this and just focus on whether or not this is something you are willing to tolerate. If the answer is no, you just have to move on. Guys want the girls to lead nowadays. Why? I don't think. Why do you say that? Let's start there. Was looking for the lives the past couple of days. It's my nighttime routine. Yeah, they banned me for 3 days, so we're back in action now, though. I can't even be friends with someone who had a crush on a friend. Right. If you look at them in any kind of romantic contest, it's just not going to work. It's not going to work at all. Do you believe in the talking dating then? Can you rephrase your question? I don't understand what you're asking me. Well, I made him unfollow her and she came to me about it. She came to, was she like cracking her knuckles? Hey, so you made Johnny unfollow me? What did she say when she confronted you? That's hilarious. Sorry, do you believe in the multiple stages of dating, talking, exclusive? To each their own, but I think generally speaking, people like us will assume you go from talking to dating to exclusivity to relationship. I had another ex hit me up last week. You might be right about me. I told you, Eva. I will not steer you wrong, I promise. It's actually my fear. That's why I'm every live I know more than the previous live because I have a fear of steering people wrong. So like every time y'all see me, there's more up here. The guys on the panel appear to be afraid to making a date. Well, that's an unfair assessment. There's a couple of guys here who are like very young. We're talking like 18-year-olds. I think one of those guys was in high school. The one who was like, she was playing with his hair. He's a high schooler. The other guy who's in Dubai is 18, I think. And then Pierre was just nervous. So he even said on the, while he was talking that he already has a date planned. He just doesn't know how to execute. He doesn't want to mess things up. Or were you banned? That was a good call. She was gorgeous. It wasn't for her. What TikTok does is you can get banned for something you did like the previous live, right? We had a caller who called in and she was just like talking very wild. And as the host of the live, I'm responsible for what the callers say. So if they say something crazy, it's almost like I said it. So that's part of the reason I would suspect, but they don't really give you a lot of clarification as to why they banned you. They just give you like a very sweeping generalization. I step those steps. You make the relationship whatever you want it to be. Facts. And ex-lovers reaching out to you, especially when they're with someone else, diabolical. Right. How to get men to approach in public. You can't really, outside of Maya, is that you in your profile pic? Is that you, Maya? Please advise. Is that right? Okay. It's nice to meet you, Maya. Welcome to the live. It's always nice to have new faces, new beautiful faces, right? And you're not getting approached, really. Where are you located? Let me see what your bio says. Is that New York? They're not really approaching in New York, huh? Is that like a general thing? I don't think Rushi, is Rushi here? I think Rushi's in New York. Rushi's normally in the evening lives, but I haven't seen her tonight, so she may not be here. We got any other ladies in New York that can speak on whether or not guys approach in the Big Apple? They do not? Okay. So we got a few women, a few ladies confirming. Yeah, I'm in New York too. Men definitely don't approach. So New York, I would imagine, is like very app heavy. I know New York is very app heavy. So to answer your question, you can't get them to approach. Is app heavy to the max? Yeah, that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. That must be a fun city to date in, huh? They just stare and stay mute. Sim, I didn't know you were in New York. I thought you were closer to me, actually. That's unfortunate. So I always say do the Hannah. Hannah's not here right now, I don't think. But you just do the Hannah, right? Like, you can initiate with a man in a very feminine way. If you look back in the 50s, I've said this numerous times, you'll see women like drop a handkerchief intentionally. The man will come pick it up, give it back to them. The feminine move is to create an opening. So when you're making eye contact with a man, you're creating an opening. When you smile at him from across the room, you're creating an opening, right? You're signaling to him that you're open to his advancement. Okay? In 2026, in the world of dating apps and viral videos of women saying don't approach and social media sliding in people's DMs, in that world, you're going to naturally have less men approach because there's easier ways to create romantic connections without the cost of embarrassment. What's easier? Going up to you in a public setting and trying to create attraction and risk embarrassment in front of onlookers, or just sliding into your DMs? And if you reject me there, only you and I know it. It's just easier, right? So what Hannah does is she creates an opening by a lot of times asking for a favor. So if she's in the grocery store, she sees someone she's attracted to, she may ask that individual to get something off the top shelf for her. So she's creating an opening, right? The idea is I'm engaging, I'm creating this conversation so that you can escalate and take things further if you so choose. If a guy is interested in you and you initiate some sort of conversation with him, 7 times out of 10, he'll likely just take that further. And if he doesn't, I would assume disinterest. But your ego is still intact because technically you didn't hit on him. You just were asking him for a favor. ladies are going to have to do a bit more than that. I don't think going over the days of just like making eye contact. Some women will show. I try to tell guys this because a lot of guys wait for choosing signals or indicators of interest, and I tell them not to do that. They always ask me why, and it's because sometimes women don't even notice you, and then other times, if they are attracted to you, there's a woman in my gym. I know she's attracted to me. I know she is. She will not look at me. She'll make a point to like not do it. And I'm like, okay, well that's just as bad as you doing it, like because you would just naturally just look at people, right? But she makes a point to not. Oh, okay, I know what's going on here. You're one of those, right? So it's like, but to a guy who's used to getting indicators of interest or choosing signals, he would look at that and assume that she's not interested. And I'm like, no, some will, if they're interested, they will try their best and not let you know it. So you can't wait for that. The masculine position is to just go after what you want. That's the masculine, not to wait for someone to give you some sort of sign. It is to just go after what you want. That's the real masculine position. You really know ball. Come on, Kiara. Did you ever doubt that? Did you ever doubt that? Why do women just care about money these days? That's a social media talking point, bro. To be honest. That's a social media talking point. Even the women who, obviously there's always going to be women who care about money, right? That's true. But don't be fooled. A lot of women will make content for the validation of other women. They'll say things that don't really represent their actual standards to get women to like their videos. They'll pretend to hate men just to get engagement. Be secret lover girls behind the scenes. So you gotta, social media is not real. It's not real. I promise you it's not real. I promise you it's not real. Am I still streaming on YouTube? Let me turn this off.